everybody and welcome back to Red Devils TV. Now this is your Manchester United versus Leeds preview, but before I get into the video, I just want to say that today's the 65th year anniversary of the Munich air crash. Obviously that's a massive piece of history into our football club, and just rest in peace to all the legends that died on that historic and tragic night. Obviously we all know what happened. It was obviously a tragic event and it will always be embedded into the club's history. Unfortunately, it is a tragic event, but hopefully these legends, obviously we all know about the legends. They were brilliant footballers, and they were on their way back from a European competition, and obviously after the third takeoff attempt, after the first two failing, obviously the third just caused the plane to crash and takeoff never happened, and it was just obviously many people died. And yeah, it's obviously a tragic event from what actually happened to our football club. But yeah, obviously like I said, rest in peace. I went to Old Trafford today to obviously watch the memorial. I didn't get any footage just because I wanted to, well, I didn't really want to record any footage. I didn't think it was appropriate for the YouTube channel, but for the majority of the United fans there, it was an amazing service. And obviously Eric Ten Hag was there, as well as Harry Maguire. So massive respect to them to showing, and obviously they care about this football club, obviously care about the history. So yes, Harry Maguire showing there as our club captain. Obviously I give him a massive respect for that. And Eric Ten Hag also being there was incredible, as well as many other amazing Manchester United fans. But obviously you're here for the Manchester United versus Leeds preview, so let's carry on with the video. So yes, obviously United play Leeds on Wednesday night. We heard today that Jesse Marsch has been sacked by Leeds, and that's obviously due to them being in pretty much a relegation battle. But for me, I feel like the season's very weird this season. I mean, Arsenal are winning the league pretty much, so that's already weird. But I don't think you can count any team of who's actually going to get relegated, because I think there's at least probably 6, maybe 7 teams that are actually could get relegated. There's so many teams that are inconsistent, so many teams with low points. Any one of them can get relegated. Obviously currently it's Southampton, it's Bournemouth and it's Everton who are currently in the relegation position. But then obviously Everton are currently 18th, and Leeds are currently 17th with the same amount of points. So maybe that Leeds have sacked Jesse Marsch due to the fact that they don't want to be in a relegation battle. But realistically, you're not the greatest team in the Premier League, and it just shows how competitive the Premier League is, because there's so many good teams in the Premier League, and obviously it's a massive battle throughout the entire season for who actually gets relegated. I mean, Leeds have done incredible since their promotion from the Championship. They've kept themselves up for about 3 seasons now. Jesse Marsch has obviously done well since he's come in, and I personally rated him as a manager, but obviously Leeds as a football club didn't rate him. So will that benefit Manchester United? Maybe not, I can't say, because obviously we've got that fear of the new manager bounce. And yeah, but apparently that Leeds don't have a backup manager in place. They apparently just sacked him on the spot. So I think that's a bit wrong, in my opinion. I feel like if you're going to sack a manager, you at least have your replacement in line. I mean, Manchester United did this with Ralf Rangnick. We didn't know when we sacked Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, the club didn't want to sack him, but it was due to the fans' uproar that caused him to get the sack because of his poor performances. But at the end of the day, Ralf Rangnick came in about 2 weeks later after Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. Michael Carrick was the interim manager because he was Ole Gunnar Solskjaer's assistant head coach. So yeah, obviously I don't really know much about Leeds' assistant head coach. I don't really know about Leeds as a whole club. Obviously I know they're currently in the relegation battle, but they do have good players. They've got obviously got Rodrigo, Celestino. They've got Cooper, they've got Meslier. They've got quite a few good players. And do they deserve to be in the position they're in? No. I mean, for Leeds, it's an old rivalry for me. I was brought up hating Leeds, but realistically, I don't really hate Leeds. I don't really, obviously it's more the, my granddad, for example, he can't stand Leeds. Obviously I don't like Leeds due to him, but yeah, I can understand his hatred, and he's going to be proper fired up for Wednesday when we do play Leeds. But yeah, how do I think Eric Ten Hag's going to set up with this game? I think he's going to go strong. I think Eric Ten Hag's going to going to obviously play his brand of football. Leeds are known for being a very open team. And United seem to have very good fixtures and results over Leeds over the last few seasons. I mean, obviously Casemiro suspended due to that red card that United haven't appealed, so it looks like Casemiro's out for the next 3 games, so obviously that's going to be a bit of a loss, a pretty big loss actually. But yeah, I feel like though that if McTominay is fit, maybe you do play McTominay in this game, because he loves a game against Leeds. He loves to play against Leeds. He always finds a way to score. He always finds a way to have a great game against Leeds. McTominay's top 5 games in the Premier League, at least 3 of them fixtures have been against Leeds. He always plays well against them. So if he's fit, maybe play him, maybe bring him as a sub. I don't really know. Is it the return of McFred? Probably not. I feel like Sabitzer and Fred will be the midfield pivot. Maybe you put Lindelof there. I'm not really too sure, but realistically, it's a good chance for Sabitzer to get some game time to show United fans what he's all about. I mean, he had a brief cameo against Crystal Palace at the weekend, but obviously that wasn't really enough. Obviously, you can't really judge a player off 1 game. But I really rate Sabitzer. I think he's a good player, and I look forward to seeing him play, hopefully. But yeah, how do I think Erik ten Hag will set up? Obviously, I've just said I think he will take the game to Leeds. Obviously, the first game is at Old Trafford, and then the weekend we play Leeds again at Ellen Road. So yeah, I personally feel like it's going to be a good game. I think United are going to win. I'm going to go for a 3-0 victory. I feel like obviously we're being at Old Trafford, the Old Trafford crowd's going to be behind United. We're going to be, obviously it's Leeds as well, so Old Trafford will be erupting. It's going to be a great game, I think, and I feel like United are going to control the game like we have done for the majority of our last few games at Old Trafford. I mean, we're currently 13 wins in a row at Old Trafford, so I mean it'd be nice to make it 14, wouldn't it? So yeah, the team that I'm going to go for, I think it's going to be David De Gea, it's going to be Wan-Bissaka, it's going to be Rafael Varane, Lisandro Martinez. I'm going to go for Luke Shaw. Obviously, Casemiro is suspended, so I'm going to have to say Sabitzer and Fred, and then probably Bruno Fernandes. And then, do you play Sancho in this type of game? I don't think so. I feel like Sancho's still got to get a lot of his match sharpness back up, so I would start Antony, I would start Weghorst, and I would start Marcus Rashford. So that would be my team. Obviously, you can bring the likes of Jadon Sancho on if we need a bit more creativity. Obviously, we've got the likes of Lindelof on the bench in case we do need to bring him on as a midfielder, because obviously he has played in that holding midfielder role in his career. Obviously, we saw it against Nottingham Forest for that brief cameo during the Carabao Cup semi-final. So yeah, I feel like that obviously with the current injuries that we've got in Donny van der Beek, as well as now Eriksen, obviously, and McTominay is also a bit of a doubt, and obviously now Martial's injured. We've got quite a few injuries, so obviously I don't really have any updates on Diego Dalot. So it's going to be we have got a few players missing, but hopefully Ten Hag and his Red Army can get it over the line. But I feel like that Leeds aren't going to bring us much of a threat. They are in the relegation, and United are in this title race. And people might disagree, but I really thought, but like before the weekend started, I didn't count United in a title race. But with Arsenal losing, City losing, United have got a good shot here. Obviously, we had the news today about Manchester City with their possible points deduction and titles being stripped away because apparently they've been found over, I think it's over 50 allegation. What is it called? 50 rules broken or something like that. So Manchester City could even get relegated. It's crazy for what could possibly happen to Manchester City. I mean, it reminds me of Juventus in the Italian league. They've been stripped for, I think it was like 20 points or something, and they're currently sitting in 10th place, and they were in the top 4 race, and they might have to sell some of their crucial players because they won't be able to afford the wages, because obviously they haven't got that Champions League spot. So yeah, this might be Manchester City's downfall. Who knows? But I'm not complaining, like, because realistically, I'd feel like that United are in this title race now. We're currently 3 points behind City. I think we're about, is it 10, maybe 11 points behind Arsenal. So obviously the gap is there, but if Arsenal keep losing, and obviously they're going to start their high fixtures in a moment as soon as well. Obviously they play I think they play Brentford and Manchester City as their next 2 games. They're tough games. Obviously, Manchester City probably will get a result there. They did look the better team in the FA Cup when they beat Arsenal 1-0. And Brentford are a tough fixture as well. They're not. You can't walk over Brentford. Like probably about a few seasons ago, you could think, oh, Brentford, they've only just been promoted from the Championship. They're not that threatening, but Brentford are a threatening club now. I really like what their manager's done. There's a lot of great players at Brentford, and I feel like that Arsenal are going to struggle. So is this Arsenal's downfall, and are they going to drop out of the title race and going to let the likes of Manchester United, Manchester City, maybe even Spurs to try and catch up to them? Who knows? But yeah, I feel like it's getting exciting now, this title race, and I would count Manchester United in the title race. I wouldn't say that we're going to win the title, but you can't not say that we're actually in the title race now, because if City are included in that fixture and we're 3 points behind them, then you've got to include United as well, in my opinion. And I just think that you've just got to give credit to Erik ten Hag for what he's done. I mean, you've got the likes of Jose Mourinho, who says that that getting second with Manchester United was his biggest achievement in his career. You didn't get second with Manchester United. It was due to David De Gea. David De Gea as well. I want to get onto David De Gea in a moment as well. But David De Gea is the reason why United got second. It reminded me of the last season with David De Gea. David De Gea can sometimes have world-class seasons and be one of the best players in the league, and he needs to be remembered that he is one of the greatest goalkeepers that's ever played for this club. I wouldn't say he's the best, but we don't know, because I feel like De Gea's frowned upon when it comes to Schmeichel, Van der Sar, due to the fact that we haven't won many trophies with David De Gea, and that might be why he's frowned upon. Obviously, he's very divided in the fan base when it comes to opinions on David De Gea. I personally think he's a great goalkeeper. Would I go for a new goalkeeper in the summer? That's a tough one. I'm going to say no, but I would go for a new second choice goalkeeper. I would sell Dean Henderson. I think Tom Heaton's not good enough. I would look at the likes of maybe Raya from Brentford. I think their goalkeeper is very good. He's literally like a number 10 in goal. His distribution's incredible. There's a goalkeeper I really like as well in Kobel, who's Dortmund's goalkeeper. I love him. He's literally got a cannon for an arm. The throws he can make from a goal kick, or from obviously catching the ball and throwing it out to the players, he's got a cannon for an arm. He's a great goalkeeper. But realistically, I feel like you can get the best out of David De Gea until he's like 37, 38. And we've been shown over recent times as well that players are getting older and older as they're retiring. So it's not like players are retiring at 33 anymore. Like David De Gea is currently 32, is it? So David De Gea isn't getting on a bit. And for goalkeepers as well, they normally retire quite late as well. I mean, Van der Sar retired at 39 to 40. So yeah, I feel like David De Gea is a very good goalkeeper, and we're lucky to have him. But obviously that was a bit of a tangent. That was a bit of sidetracking. I don't know why I did it. But yeah, so I've said 3-0 for the Leeds fixture. Yeah, who would I think the first scorer will be? I feel like that, I don't know why, but I've got a feeling that for some reason Anthony's going to get the first goal. And you might think I'm crazy, but I feel like that Anthony's due a goal, and I would not surprise me if he does score. I mean, Rashford is in the form of his life. I wouldn't be surprised if he scores. Maybe the likes of Bruno Fernandes. Weghorst might get a goal. So obviously it's all if, buts and maybes, but I do think United will win comfortably against Leeds. And even without Casemiro, obviously Casemiro is a big loss, but it could have been worse. We could have had Chelsea, Liverpool and City 3 games in a row, but instead we have Leeds twice and Leicester. So we can deal, if we can get 7 points out of the next 3 games, I'll call that a success. But yeah, hopefully United play well. I'm looking forward to how we set up. But yeah, apart from all that, that's been my match preview for United versus Leeds. So yes, thank you for watching today's video. Please remember to like, subscribe, comment and share. On the road to 600 subscribers. So yes, thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Goodbye.